Great, thank you so much. Hi, everybody. My name is Sean Brindley, and I'm the head of business development at DeepScribe. First, want to thank everybody for taking a couple of minutes out of your busy day to stop and spend some time with us here in the AWS booth. I know this is a crazy week. Everybody's tired. It's amazing to be back in person with everybody at a great event in HIMSS. I've been coming to this event for, I believe this is the 14th year, and it's been really cool to see how it's changed and expanded and morphed over all these years. Today, our topic is the promise and risk of AI in healthcare. I'll be honest, when we first came up with this title, working with our marketing team, got some feedback that it seemed kind of negative. Why are we focusing on risk? Well, I'm a glass half full kind of guy. We're going to focus mostly on the positive aspects, but I do think we'd be remiss if we didn't focus on some of the risk and potential pitfalls of adopting new technology in healthcare. Looking at some of the themes over the years at HIMSS, there's been everything from EHR adoption, meaningful use to compliance, attesting to other guidelines. And this year, or maybe the past 2 years, AI definitely seems to be the main buzzword. I don't think it's even a buzzword anymore. This has been validated that it's a real concept and a real topic, and something that small and medium-sized health systems and enterprise health systems are taking seriously and are trying to figure out how to adopt within their practices. So without further ado, we'll dive into the content of this presentation. At DeepScribe, we are reimagining clinical documentation. It is our mission to transform patient conversations into actionable clinical intelligence. What this really means is that our ambient AI platform can transform conversations and put them into real text to be put back into the EHR to allow the physicians to focus on what they do best, and that's practicing medicine. We've automated clinical documentation so that a lot of the previous manual efforts no longer need to be a manual process for doctors as they're practicing care in the office. And what this really means is that we allow them to focus on being humans, taking care of humans. So much of healthcare, I feel like, has become repetitive, rinse and repeat processes in the office. And we're trying to automate as much of that previous manual workflow so that doctors can focus on what they do and what they do best. Real quick about our company, DeepScribe, we were founded in 2017 out in the Bay Area. Currently, we're utilized by thousands of practices, both small, independently owned physician groups and some enterprise health systems. Our co-founders, featured down here in the corner, Matt and Akalash, they started this company like so many other health technology founders out of a personal experience. They were both taking care of some family members and became very aware of some of the problems in healthcare and the inefficiencies. Specifically, they were amazed at the amount of data that was presented in unstructured manner and how overwhelming that could be. So this left room for improvement and a new process to be formed in ambient listening. Our model has been trained on over 3 million clinical conversations, and from that, we've tagged over 260 million medical concepts. Through that proprietary large language model that we've developed, we've achieved close to 100% accuracy in our AI output, which is very exciting to see that the computers are actually smarter than the human-in-the-loop companies of a previous time. So let's look at the problem that we're solving with ambient listening and ambient AI and medical scribing. The main problem that we're looking at here is a lot of inefficiency and clinician burnout. A personal story, one of my very close friends, his name's Andrew, he's a surgeon. He spent so many years of his personal life focused on med school, residency, fellowship, to become a plastic surgeon that focused on reconstructive surgery with the hands, so helping trauma patients. After he finished up his fellowship, started working at a hospital, and after about 2 years was completely burned out and was really put off by the amount of manual documentation and work he had to do that wasn't directly related to caring for patients. We hear this story a lot. He's not alone. There's a lot of Andrews out there. We found that about 47% of clinicians are stating that they're burned out. 60% cite that administrative task as the primary contributing factor to that burnout. And 90% of those considering leaving medicine are citing that burnout is the main cause. So we need to do something to enable doctors and clinicians to focus on treating patients and not spending all their time doing clinical documentation and administrative tasks. I also think we'd be remiss if we didn't look at the financial impact of incorrect coding or the physician burnout. An analysis that we looked at found that about 30% of medical notes are undercoded. At the end of the day, a hospital and medical practice, it's still a business. Yes, we're doing phenomenal things, caring for patients, helping them live better, happy, healthy lives. But financial bottom line is absolutely still important. So we found that because so many notes are undercoded, there's money being left on the table. And with our platform, we're able to help surface the correct codes to make sure that everything is billed correctly and at the most appropriate level. The last point that I want to call out on this slide is the cost of a provider turnover. And we found that to be about $1 million per provider. Initially, I was shocked when I read this, but if you think about it, not too surprising. The cost to recruit a physician, move them and their family to where the hospital is, get them onboarded, start seeing patients, building the relationships. Once they lose that, a lot of the patients will go with the physician. So big problem here that we're trying to solve. Taking a look at the platform and how this actually works, there are a lot of competitors in the space now, which is great from a market validation perspective, but how do you differentiate in the space? One great thing about the DeepScribe platform is that it runs from a device that pretty much everybody out here probably has in their hand, in their pocket, or in their backpack. It can run on your existing iPhone, your iPad, or the physician's desktop or laptop computer. So when hospital systems are adopting this new technology, they don't have to purchase additional equipment, which can help drive faster adoption and lower the barrier to entry. The workflow, pretty straightforward. We've built integrations with electronic health records and practice management systems to sync with the scheduling platform. So when a physician rooms a patient, they click on their patient, and then they can start recording when they're seeing the patient. Everything else is done exactly like a normal in-office visit, and we try to tell physicians not to dictate. Talk to your patient exactly like you would if you didn't have this listening device. It makes it a much more personal conversation, and the physician can truly focus on the patient versus having to worry about do documentation and charting at the same time. One nice feature of this as well, so say a physician is seeing a patient that came in with a sore throat. As I'm going through the visit, determined that we need to do a strep test and a COVID test. So I can order the cultures, pause the encounter, and go see another patient while the MA comes in to do the lab test. Once the cultures are ready, the physician can come back in, hit resume, pick up the visit where it left off, and then read the test results to the patient, and then go through the rest of the visit. All of that information is then populated into a note. So the AI can take all of the raw transcript, structure it into a SOAP note, and then push that back into the physician's EHR. We can use discrete fields as well, so there's very little editing or modification that needs to be done by the physician after the visit. We don't have slides on this yet because it rolled out 2 days ago at HIMSS, but we have a new platform focused on real time. So this workflow, you still have to record the visit, hit scribe, wait a couple of minutes. Now we can do all of this in streaming and in real time. So as a doctor is talking to a patient and the ambient device is recording, that can be structured in real time so the provider can review the SOAP note as the patient's in front of them. So we're very excited about that. Thinking back to the theme of this presentation, trust and safety. I think this is something to really be cognizant of when you're looking at new technologies. AI, as I mentioned, it's almost becoming a commodity in the space, and we're seeing a lot of new players pop up. Again, great for market validation, but it's creating confusion for buyers of technology platforms. So a big feature of our platform is around trust and safety. Through some research that we did, we found that there's about 2.3 trillion gigabytes of data created in healthcare, growing at about 40% year over year. That is a lot of data, and a lot of data that can be structured and codified with AI. But at the same time, that introduces a lot of opportunities for potential risk, potential data breaches, or data leaks. So with that, we're thrilled to be working with technology powerhouse like AWS to ensure that we are storing everything correctly, managing HIPAA requirements correctly, and we've achieved SOC 2 Type 2 certification as well to make sure that everything is stored correctly on the cloud. There are a lot of questions around AI and AI bias. So we enable physicians to actually look at the SOAP note, and if you see this text in the blue here, they can click into the analysis from the AI, and it'll show in the actual transcript where that determination came from and what degree of accuracy that we feel it's correct. We'll even pull up the audio recording so that a physician can hear where in the patient conversation that dictation came from. So very transparent, very easy for physicians to work with and be confident that the AI that is presented is highly relevant and highly accurate. The last component of our platform that I want to discuss, which I think is very crucial to clinical workflow, is customization. We're all acutely aware that changing physician behavior is difficult. So we've engineered the platform in a way that it fits into existing workflows. And our platform can be specialized by customized templates, and the large language model can be trained to specific specialties. Through the customization as well, we can create macros in the audio that trigger different automations as the AI is composed. Looking at the AWS platforms that we're operating with, AWS has been a fantastic partner to work with as we're developing here. We're utilizing Bedrock, HealthScribe, and SageMaker. With Bedrock, we're able to use that to continually deploy changes and upgrades to our large language model. With HealthScribe and DeepScribe, we're creating a very unique solution that's going to be very well positioned collaboratively in the marketplace. And then with SageMaker, that's the platform that we use to train our large language model. So we have a proprietary large language model. Again, I referenced this in the first slide, trained from 3 million patient encounters. And all of that data has been pushed through SageMaker to create our proprietary LLM called Health AI. Excuse me, Heal AI. Beyond the technology components, we're entirely architected on AWS. The partnership has been fantastic for commercialization and growth. So by working together collaboratively with AWS, we're being exposed into additional commercial conversations, and our commercial prospects and partners feel confident that by working with DeepScribe and AWS, they're buying one of the best solutions in the marketplace, really is the best of both worlds. So to wrap things up here, I've got 2 examples from real customers that I want to call out. The proof is in the data, and it's great to hear things directly from those utilizing our platform. Excuse me. Covenant Health in Michigan, they've adopted our platform, and they're utilizing it across multiple departments and specialties in the practice. Some of the quotes here from their CIO, I think, are very powerful. They've seen a 75% reduction in documentation time. That's saving hours of each physician's day that can then be seen or used to see additional patients or focus on other tasks within the hospital. Frank, the CIO, he's been a wonderful partner to help us deploy and push this to the physicians and ensure that they are utilizing it. Once they try it, the feedback's been phenomenal, and we're seeing continued expansion within the group. The last customer example I want to call out is Texas Oncology. This has been a fantastic partnership, and we're really excited to see this one continuing to grow. We recently did a pilot with Texas Oncology, and we saw 76% adoption within the pilot. That's unheard of. Most pilots, we're lucky to see 20 or 30% adoption. So this was a massive success, and we've since moved beyond the pilot, and we're rolling this out across the organization, and now hundreds of providers within the organization are utilizing DeepScribe. Oncology is a specialty that is near and dear to my heart. I'm sure pretty much everybody listening here has an example on how cancer has impacted their lives. I'm not on the front lines treating patients, but being able to work with a technology platform that's enabling oncologists to treat better and have more holistic care with patients, that's what keeps me going. That's really exciting, and I'm thrilled to work on a platform that's having a positive impact on people's lives. Thanks so much.